All right, what's up, y'all? Yes, I'm back in the building, and yes, I'm still filming from my bathroom. As I told y'all in the previous video, I got some stuff moving around outside in my spot. So please don't judge me. Please don't judge if you hear an echo, and please don't judge if my toilet start making noise. But I made a video about varicose veins. I used to have varicose veins really bad, and that video is like having a ton of views. Every time I check, people keep watching the video. So I want to give a very honest review on the three places I had my veins worked on. Um, Man, my bathroom is kind of tight. I would have got up and just showed y'all my legs, but my legs look A1. Like, I did a great. Like, my legs look amazing right now. Sounds crazy to say my legs look amazing, but my legs look 100% better. But I had to go to three different places, and I'm about to tell you my horrible experience with Vein Clinics of America, my horrible experience with USA Vein. I'm not going to tell y'all the third place I went to because that's the doctor that if I have to get any additional maintenance with my varicose veins, I'm going to go to him. And he gave me a lot of insight as to what went wrong with Vein Clinics of America and USA Vein. And I ain't trying to, like, as much as I'm trying to get in business, he pretty much told me that they're full of shit. And I don't want to, like, put him out there. Anyway, so I had varicose veins real bad. I'm going to link the video either in the description box or it's going to pop up somewhere around here. And let me give you the definition of varicose veins. Give me 1 second. Okay. A varicose vein is gnarled, enlarged vein, mostly commonly appearing in the legs and feet. Varicose veins are generally benign. The cause of this condition is not known. So again, I don't have any like readily available pictures of my feet, but like I said, it's in my other video. But I'll just show y'all what varicose veins look like. I'm trying to. Okay. Ooh, mine wasn't that bad, but I'm trying to find a black person, y'all. Hold on. Okay. So varicose veins kind of look like that. It's kind of like, it's like a bundling up and enlarging of veins. With some people, they have it light. Some people it gets really bad. I'm trying to find some more of black people. So in relation to me, give me 1 second. I mean, y'all know I don't be liking to edit. I could have just edited it right in there, but like y'all just bear with me. This is gonna be a good video, so just wait. I'm trying to find a second person. Okay, yeah. So varicose veins, they're just like the unsightly veins in the leg. Um, they're not. Their cause is unknown, but it's just different reasons why people get them. Why I got them because genetically my father's side of the family has them. Number two, I'm flat-footed, and number three, in my early 20s, I used to work as a bartender. So I was on my feet for a lot of hours out of the day. So I started getting the varicose veins when I was around like 17. They weren't that bad, but by the time I turned like 20, I started to see them, and especially on my right leg, they were like very prominent. But they were like up my thigh. So if I had on shorts, I could still wear like knee length shorts, but like if I sat down and like my shorts lifted up, you could see them, or if I like lift my leg, or like when I was doing like certain workouts in the gym and like my shorts kind of like rolled down, you could see them. And they were, kind of a insecurity of mine. And here's another set of varicose veins, y'all. They don't have a lot of, ooh, this guy's on was real bad. Man. Okay, let me show y'all this one. But yeah, so I had, and varicose veins, even though like a lot of people don't know, it affects men as well. It affects men and women. And like I said, they're not like look at these. You see? See how bad that one looks? See how bad that one looks? Man. So anyway, I had them, and then when I started to get like insecure because I was acting at the time, trying to like do a little bit of modeling and stuff like that, and I couldn't have my legs looking like that. So like 10 years ago, getting the veins fixed was falling under cosmetic. So when I would try to like go have like treatments for a doctor, the doctor would be like, oh, your insurance isn't going to cover it, your insurance isn't going to cover it. And me being a bartender for a long time, your insurance just didn't cover it, or I didn't have insurance. So fast forward a few years ago, I had gotten a job, and one of the perks of my job was like really good insurance. Like my job had like top notch A1 insurance. So one of the first things on my list was like, I want to go ahead and get these varicose veins taken care of. And within the last couple of years, insurance companies have started to pay for the treatment of varicose veins. So I was like, okay, boom. At the time, I live in Atlanta. At the time, I was working in a particular part of Atlanta, and I didn't have a car for about a half a year, because prior to me getting that job, I had sold my car because I was like 100% positive I was gonna move to California. So I didn't have a car. So when I was about to start the treatment, I literally called my insurance, told them I wanted to get their treatments, and they gave me a list. And then it was a varicose vein clinic right maybe like 10 minutes away from where my job was at, because my goal was when I get off work, I wanted to go get the treatments done, and I didn't want them to be too far from me. So I found a clinic, went ahead, booked my appointment, met the doctor. The doctor, I have all the 3 different doctors I'm going to talk about. I don't have anything bad to say about the doctors. It all comes down to unethical practices with billing and just rude and incompetent staff. So I met the doctor. The doctor, he checks my legs out. He says the varicose veins, they kind of judge them on like a 1 to 10 scale. 5 is like, mild, 10 is extreme. He said my varicose veins were like a 6 or like a 7. And he's like, man, you're a young, healthy guy. He's like, man, we could go ahead and knock it out for you. Now, before you get the treatments, they have to do an ultrasound of your legs. So just like how I'm saying it, they're gonna have you stand up on like a platform, and a technician is gonna like have you hike your pants up, and then they're gonna put gel, and they're gonna literally like do an ultrasound of your legs to just see how your blood is flowing in the leg and like spot the veins. So the particular job I had with the great insurance, I hated my job. And I had already got hired by another job, but the job I hated, that I was currently working for, they had really, really good insurance, like 90 something percent was covered. So I was like, look, I'm gonna get all my medical stuff done with this employer. And then my other job, which was gonna start like 3 or 4 months later, I was just gonna be like, okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and be right by the time I get to this other job because I didn't know what their insurance was looking like. So I wanted to get my varicose veins done. I had hammer toe, broken toes from like working out. I had like a lot of little medical stuff. Just get all my biannual teeth cleaning, all that stuff. So I go. The doctor then tells me after he does my ultrasound, he recommends I get 1 round of laser treatment, and with the laser treatment, it's literally like a long skinny wire that they literally kind of like wind it into your vein and they burn the vein so the vein can collapse from the inside. So he said he's gonna recommend 1 round of laser treatment, and then he's gonna recommend me get like a series of shots. It's some solution. They shoot it in the leg. I said, okay, cool. They were saying that the insurance company I was with, they were like sometimes very pushy when it comes to approving certain things. So they said they had to like send in all this, information to them so they can approve my treatment. So they told me it's going to take a couple of weeks. I had already previously, like I told you, I had called my insurance and told them like, hey, I want to get these treatments. I've had the veins for a problem. My legs feel heavy, etc., 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 etc. So within a few days, Vein Clinics of America calls me and says, hey, they actually approved your laser treatment. They approved, we asked for 8 rounds of shot. They actually approved 12 rounds of shots. So yeah, when do you want to get it done? You remember I told you I was on a time crunch. So I wanted to hurry up and get these shots done because I wanted to make sure everything was done within a 3-month period. So by the time I was done, I could go ahead and quit this job and go to my other job. So I told them like immediately I could start as soon as possible. So then they said, okay, well, when you want to schedule your first leg? And I was like, well, no, I want to go ahead and knock them both out. They would tell me like, no, you got to get, each leg has to have a separate day. And I was like, why? They're like, oh, for your comfort. And I'm like, no, I have good pain tolerance. Like, don't worry. Like, you could go ahead and schedule both legs on the same day. So Vein Clinics of America was very adamant that they had to schedule my laser treatments on 2 separate days. Okay, cool. They gave me the stuff over the phone, like, what not to eat, what not to drink, what medications not to take, all this kind of stuff. So the day I show up to the day of my first laser procedure, they present me with a piece of paper and I read everything that I have to sign thoroughly. On a piece of paper, it said, such and such and such, this is an experimental treatment, and in the event that your insurance doesn't cover it, you will be obligated to pay. And I was like, I asked it was an older black lady at the front desk. I said, well, what is this? I said, I thought everything was approved. She said, well, yeah, your laser is approved, your shots are approved, but it's an additional guided experimental treatment we do to guarantee results that we have to let you sign for this. So I told the lady, well, no, I don't want this. I just want whatever my insurance approved. So she's like, no, it's fine, just sign. And I was like, no, I don't want anything extra. Whatever my insurance approved the laser and the shots, I'll take that. So the lady and I are going back and forth, and then she's like, look, your insurance is going to approve it. It's just standard that you have to go ahead and sign this because the doctor is not going to do your procedure if not. So she's like, it's fine. They're going to cover it. Trust me. Against my better judgment, I like, ma'am, are you sure? She said yes. I go ahead and sign it. I go in the back. I'm getting my laser treatment done on one leg. Now, I had to, like, let's say these are my thighs. My vein, especially on my right leg, the veins were like on the inner thigh going up. Like they were real bad. It was like a rope from like the above my knee on the inside up. So the doctor is doing the laser treatment. First they had to numb my foot up. I think my legs up, my thighs. I think maybe the most painful thing was the numbing because there's just a series of shots to like numb your thigh. if you've had a tattoo or piercings, it's very similar to that. Now my legs are spread open, and the doctor is, doing the laser treatment. It's the doctor and a nurse or whatever, or assistant or whatever in there. As my legs are spread open and I have on the little hospital shorts or whatever, three people walk in the room and they just stand in the back of the room and they're just like looking. Mind you, again, my legs are open. So I'm like, who the fuck are these people? Like, in my mind, I'm like looking at the assistant, and then I think the doctor turned around, and then the doctor told me, oh, those are like some new employees or whatever. I didn't feel comfortable with y'all just letting people I don't fucking know look at me as I'm having my procedure with my legs fucking open in these little coochie cutter underwear or whatever. I didn't care. Whatever. So we go ahead, we do both legs. And mind you, before we even go in to do that, they had asked me if I had brought stockings. I said, well, you guys didn't tell me to bring stockings. So it was another white girl who worked at the front. She's like, oh, don't worry, we'll have your insurance pay for it. And she's like, yeah, your insurance approved your stuff so quick. So yeah, we'll just add it on there. And I was like, okay, you sure? Like, I could go running. And they're like, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay? Put a pin in that. So, we do the first round of laser, and the doctor had told me he was going to do the laser, he was going to do the shots, and then he was going to wait like maybe a few months, and then if he didn't see the improvement like he likes, he was going to then do it again. So after like maybe my first or second round of shots, literally it's like some solution. They go and they do the same thing. They just like inject the solution to kind of like close the veins even more. They randomly come in and they said like, hey, the doctor wants to just go ahead and put in for another laser treatment. Now, laser treatments are very expensive. They're like thousands of dollars per leg, like thousands of dollars. And even though my insurance is covering it, I know they're a very expensive procedure. So I'm asking the clinic, I said, but the doctor, but we haven't done all my shots yet. They're like, no. The doctor, he wants to just go ahead and just put in for one right now. So I was like, okay. We go ahead, we put in for the second laser treatments, and then the pandemic happens. So I didn't go see them for like a month and a half. So they then start calling me like, hey, we want you to come on in to, get your laser treatments. I said, okay, cool. I come back in. Remember the paper I got a month prior to my surgery that says, hey, this is a piece of paper saying that you are obligated to cover this experimental treatment. If your insurance doesn't cover it, this is not medically necessary. So this is another new person at the front desk. So I said, hey, I already signed this paper before. So the guy is like, oh, well, it's since you're doing the procedure again, it's a new one you have to sign. So then I was just like, did the first paper, hey, this lady said she had to send this in the first time. Did the first one get approved? So the guy is like, no, it didn't get approved. You have a balance of $400 and something. So I said, wait. So you guys are trying to have me sign a second paper for a procedure that my insurance is not going to cover after I told y'all I don't want to sign it. It says it's not medically necessary, and you guys forced me to sign this. And then now you guys want me to go sign another one, so now I'm going to owe y'all $800. When I tell you, when I started calling it out to him and the other white girl in front, they started looking at each other like this. Mind you, I'm paying $20 every time I go into the office. So I'm going into their office like 2-3 times a week with my shots and all this stuff. So that's $20, $30 a copay. Plus they're charging my insurance company thousands of dollars every time I do a treatment. So I told them no. I said, no, I feel like you guys are trying to get money from me three different ways. You guys are trying to bill me on the side. You guys are taking my copay, plus you guys are charging my insurance company. So then they're trying to like, oh no, Mr. So-and-so, like, don't, no, we don't want you to feel that way. It's not a scam. And then the girl is like, okay, well, let me just go ahead and get you your shots. I said, no. I said, until that balance is taken off, I'm not getting treated at this clinic anymore. And I said, I'm going to call corporate. So I went home, called corporate. I think because this was during the pandemic, the corporate office there was all working remote. So I'm calling for like 2 days. I finally get a woman on the phone. And then I explained to her the whole situation. So she takes my name and she said, well, what clinic was it? I give her the address of the clinic. She says, oh yeah. She said, yeah, that particular location, we've had quite a bit of complaints about billing, and yeah. So she's like, okay, I'm limited on what I could do, but I'm going to start the investigation. The whole time, the Vein Clinics of America office is calling me. Oh, Mr. So-and-so, we want you to come. The doctor wants to see you. We want to go ahead and discuss what the miscommunication, da-da-da. And I said, hey, is that 400 or whatever balance still on my account? They was like, yes. I said, well, no, I'm not coming in until y'all remove that, because you guys pretty much misled me into signing that. So after a few days, the lady called me. She had talked to the regional director or whatever, and the lady did an investigation, and then she said, hey, I got good news and bad news. This is the lady from the corporate Varicose Veins Clinic of America office. And I got the call recorded. She said, well, the good news is we did get to the bottom of it. The office did tell you wrong, and they were dishonest, and the front desk people weren't trained. They were trying to blame it on lack of training and all this kind of stuff. And then she said, so we apologize about that. She said, the only thing is that, hold on, y'all, my heater just came on. She said, the only thing is that because you signed that first paper, legally you're responsible for the balance. And I told that lady straight up, I said, ma'am, with all due respect, thank you for helping me. I said, I will never pay that bill, because I said, Vein Clinics of America, you guys tried to scam me out of more money. I finally started going to the actual locations reviews. That particular location has horrible reviews, and it's all due to billing, scamming, people being rude, people being unprofessional. So I had a horrible experience with Vein Clinics of America. If you guys go to Vein Clinics of America, be on top of your billing. Make sure they don't try to overcharge you or not, because they will try to do that. Only allow them to have you do procedures that your insurance approves. So I had a horrible experience with Vein Clinics of America. USA Vein, and I like the doctor for Vein Clinics of America, but the staffing and the scamming billing was awful. USA Vein, similar situation. I had called. I wanted to continue my treatment. I went to a USA Vein clinic. Loved the doctor there as well, an Indian guy. Told him my whole situation with Vein Clinics of America. He was like, sounds pretty familiar. He said, well, hey, I could go ahead and treat you. He was like, so same thing, had to do like the ultrasound on my legs. And then I started treatment with him. He told me he could do both legs at one time. So you remember with Vein Clinics of America, they always told me I had to come in twice a week per leg. So if I was getting shots, I had to come in on Tuesday for one leg and then Thursday for the next leg. This particular doctors for USA Vein, he was like, you could get it. He like, hey, if you have the pain tolerance for it, he like, I'll give you your shots or your laser. Same, like, it's up to you. Really like the doctor. Here's where USA Vein messed up. As I'm getting my treatments done with him, maybe on like my fourth shot, I showed up, and the girl at the front desk is like, it's saying you don't have a copay. I know with my insurance I have a copay. And I'm like, man, yeah, no, I have a copay. I always pay a copay. She's like, no, you don't have a copay. I'm like, are you sure? She said, yeah, no, I'm positive. I look, you don't have a copay. Okay, cool. Came in the next week. Same situation. No, you don't have a copay, Mr. So-and-so. You don't have a copay. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, can you just double check? She's like, yeah, the system lets me know. Maybe, your insurance did something and you're good. Okay. So it was about like 3 or 4 appointments that I had over the span of like a few weeks that I didn't have a copay. I knew something was wrong, but I was just like, well, the girl at the front desk, this is what she's saying. So a month passed by. I didn't get a call from a number, and they're like, hey, this is the billing department for USA Vein. So they was like, oh, Mr. So-and-so, you have a balance of $90-something that you need to immediately pay or else it's going to go into collections. I said, what? They're like, yeah, you've been getting treatments and not paying the copay. I said, yes, I have. I keep going. And the person on the phone was so rude. That's the thing. Like, very accusatory. Oh, well, you need to go ahead and take care of that now on the phone with me. And I said, no, I'm not. And then, like, the dude was accusing me of, like, running off on the bill. So I was so pissed. I drove up to USA Vein. I kind of confronted the girl at the front desk. She then pulls up my name again. She's like, well, yeah, now it's showing up. And she said, I don't know what was wrong. I said, do you know how they was talking to me crazy on the phone? She's going to look at me and say, well, I don't know what to tell you, Mr. So-and-so. I paid it, and I was like, since y'all are so incompetent with y'all billing, I said, cancel all the rest of my appointments. So I had a bad experience with USA Vein, but it wasn't as bad as Vein Clinics of America. I don't recommend Vein Clinics of America to anybody. USA Vein was 50-50. It wasn't the doctor. It was the billing. That was like awful. Now my third doctor, I'm not going to say who he is because my legs had looked a lot better, but I had like 1 or 2 veins that I still could kind of feel and I didn't like it. So I had found a doctor. This doctor, the first time I called, the staff, the girl who answered the phone was so fucking rude. And I was like, damn, not going there again. But then I had seen such good reviews for this doctor, I called back a few months later. When I went to the doctor, I explained to him my situation with Vein Clinics of America, with USA Vein, and the doctor was like, he's like, you know why I have such a successful practice? He said, I used to formerly work for Vein Clinics of America. And he said, yeah, a lot of times they have very predatory billing practices. So he said, I know. He said, that was one of the main reasons I wanted to leave them. And then he said, I end up getting all the patients from Veins and USA Vein, and they end up coming to me and staying with me. And the doctor was fantastic. Didn't have a problem with billing. Very nice customer service, except the first girl who answered the phone. I don't know who that ghetto ass girl was, rude ass. And he was fine. The only reason I don't want to say, because he gave me insight about how shady Vein Clinics of America was, and I don't want to get that doctor caught up in nothing. But yeah, moral of the story, Vein Clinics of America, I don't recommend it to anybody. If you do go there, make sure they don't overcharge you. USA Vein, make sure that the billing department is competent. And like I said, you might be shocked. You might just have to find like a local vein specialist in your area, because like I said, the third doctor who got my legs looking real good, I'll try to do a video for y'all. I'm all ashy. I don't want to stand up. Is like a local doctor. He doesn't work for the big vein company. So that's really it. If you guys have that video, like I said, is continuing to get a lot of views and stuff like that. So if you guys have any other questions about the vein procedures, like I said, they weren't too painful. Is similar to like, more so it was numbing the legs for the laser ablation that was the most painful to me. The actual laser ablation wasn't that painful. It just felt like a pinch. And I have a tattoo, so that's what it felt like. Anyway, this is my review on Vein Clinics of America, thumbs down. USA Vein, and my third doctor, which I'm not going to disclose because I don't want him to get caught up, because he told me Vein Clinics of America was a very shady company. Anyway, y'all, this is your boy Geppetto. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Peace.